We here. It's the viewpoint.
Uh,
It's the viewpoint.
Back in the building.
It's the weekly session.
Like we never left.
Yes,
You know what we say? What we say? What we say? We say knowledge is power.
power. Remember that.
All the time.
Yo, Wigs, how you doing, fam?
Bro, I'm good, brother. I'm good. I'm here chilling in the cut. What's up?
Ah,
What's up? What's up? Welcome everybody to the show. Like I said, you know what we say. Knowledge is power. This is Viewpoints Meeting of the Minds. Do remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share on all social media platforms. That's Twitch, that's YouTube, that's Facebook, that's Instagram. Big up everybody tuning in. My name is Ja Wiggs, and I'm here with my co-host.
Brooklyn honey baby.
yes. And I go by the name of Swagger Man,
Oh
Jada
Jesus.
Man. You
Oh
don't know what the
Jesus.
Swagger,
thing is.
Swagger,
Like I feel like
aka
every
Jada,
week
what's good?
you add an extra little sauce
Yo, you,
on
every
on,
every
on your
week
name.
he adds another like adjective or syllable. You notice that,
Yeah, or
right?
something. Like
We
every
good.
week.
We're
But
good round here.
our next thing me notice as well. Me
Mm,
notice me notice every episode
yeah.
can have a new accessory. Now me
Oh,
looking at the background and in a just this view, me see about 20 different art.
yeah.
You know, see a one art me have.
Yeah. The viewpoint at. Yeah.
A one art me have. And before this, another art.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yo, I don't even, you know what?
I
I
love
actually
hats.
I sent off all my hats to my people them that aren't around, you know what I mean? So I just cleaned up my hats one year, all of them, and I just said I shipped them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he used to
So
wear his hat to the little side, like he used to wear it and cock it to the side a little bit.
look,
Remember those days, Jada man? Remember
look,
those days?
Now,
But yeah,
now,
I
mm,
love, I love, I love fitteds. I love hats in general. Like
now
that's just me.
him just a proudly rock the ball head.
Yeah, watch him.
look at
We
it's greased up,
we
man.
have a ball head.
Look,
We have,
shine up.
we have a rock.
Mm,
See, we have the on the males. We have the both ends covered. You'll see
natty.
Natty and the ball head.
Yo,
And
mind the ball
open.
head talking.
Yo, what's good? Yo, what you guys saying, man? Everybody good?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Brooklyn,
good.
are you still celebrating the birthday or
Of
everything
course. Listen, I'm not done
similar?
celebrating, man. These people are too bright. Like my second quarantine birthday, it sucked. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
Well,
about to be out of here very
So,
yo,
soon.
so
yo,
hold on, Wigs. A question I have: why do a lot of females celebrate all month their birthday? It's one day. They were born in at one moment, 1 second of that day, and the whole month it's their birthday. I don't understand this. Talk to us. Talk to us.
Listen, you celebrate your birthday for the whole month because at the end of the day, you probably have a bunch of family members or girlfriends that are unable to celebrate on your actual birthday. So you kind of have to work around everybody's schedule a little bit. And at the same time, it's like, why wouldn't you want to be pampered for the whole month? Like this is like one of those things, and remind you, sometimes you don't even get Christmas gifts, you don't get Valentine's Day gifts, you may not
yeah,
get
wrap up
whatever.
now.
So me celebrating for the whole month, trust me,
Hmm.
your girl will come home smiling. Everything will, she'll cook, she'll clean everything. Let her celebrate her birthday for a whole month.
Okay,
I hear that.
okay. So them thing there.
I hear that.
All right. Well, if it goes so, if it not near so, then if it not go so, it near so them say right.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I wanna. Can I set it off with a little vibe?
You wanna
Can
set
I?
it up with a little vibe?
Yeah.
Well,
Can I set it?
I don't
Talk
think
to me.
there's no reason for no delay. So if Jada's calling for that vibe, you know what we say?
Hmm. Yo, this is that segment called Vibe of the Week by Jada Man. So, this segment, what I do is I really just take a track that I'm listening to or a track that's connected to where we're going today, and that's the vibe, and we just set it. You know what I mean? So, this Vibe of the Week track right here, we got a guest coming on who's, you know, infamous name in the city. And so I'm looking through his catalog, and I said, you know what? Let me draw for a track, just to pay homage and do this thing right. So this one right here, this vibe of the week, it's called "Laid Down" by 100 Watts. Drop it. Run it again, selector. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
a
Easy there,
little,
Mr. Watts.
a little vibes,
Good
a
watch
Mr.
with
little,
the
Watts.
banger.
a little vibes. Like my vibe is a laid back kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So that was 100 Watts, featuring Romeo Wilson, "Laid Down." So look out for that. I mean,
Is that a
you can.
new track or
No, no, it's an older trap, but my thing is a vibes. I just work with
yeah, yeah,
vibes,
yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So that vibes was like I was driving, I was like, yeah, I hate this. So 100, you don't know, I like that one.
Yeah,
Well,
that
yo,
sounds tough.
people, the
I
track
like
is
the
fire.
visuals too.
Yeah, yo, the
I love
visuals
the
is
visuals.
clean.
It's
What
clean. What? That was crispy, bro.
what I
Yeah,
like about not for the products coming out of Toronto is that the quality is up. We're not sitting on no mediocre levels nowadays. You know what I mean? Everything's up, up, up. So we got to keep it moving. Now I want to just take a second and big up some of the viewers. I want to big up Miss Mika. I want to big up Fukun. I want to big up Ambitious Gems tuning in early. I also want to shout out Mr. Lewis March representing.
mm.
We had him a guest a couple weeks ago. We got a
Hi,
lot of great
Louie.
feedback. We got
Drop in the middle, Wigs.
respect for the reminder.
Mm.
We got Princess Foundation tuning in. We had a lot of great feedback from her show as well. Shout out to Chippy Dunn. Shout out to Dice Lock from King Turbo. I see Nikki Ann. I see Real Life Superwoman up in the lobby as well. I see Jackie. See Ray All Day. Fancy Royale. We got a lot of viewers tuning in early. So I
Yeah,
want to shout out all the viewers now. If you're tuning in on Instagram, right, and you want to get a full visual layout and check out all the hosts and all the guests simultaneously during the stream, we do suggest that you click the link in our profile, in the Viewpoints profile, and watch the show on either Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube. All the links are there. All you got to do is click the link, choose your network, and then boom, you're gonna get the whole visual layout. So
Boom.
I don't want to even talk too long about that. Again, big up all the viewers. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Brooklyn, I don't
Yes.
even want to talk too long because there's so much enough things going on in the world that week here. So
Yes, a lot.
I
A
think it's
lot.
your time for the
A
topic,
lot.
then.
Of
You ready?
course. Let's
You
get
ready,
it.
Kit?
Hey everybody, yes, I am here. Be a big yes. I am ready for talk and let you guys know what the spicy hot topics are for this week, what went down because you already know it was lit. So first and foremost, I just want to give a congratulations to Miss Mexico, who was crowned Miss Universe 2021. She finished. She is her name is Andrea Meza, and she's 26 years old. She finished first ahead of the Brazilian. She and it was held in Hollywood, in Florida. So congratulations to you. I was also a queen myself, so I know what it takes to when it comes to the competition, when it comes to the work, the blood, sweat, and tears that you have to put into pageants and stuff like that. So my to you, I want to say congratulations, and I wish you all the best in your endeavors, in your future endeavors. Mwah! Okay, so enough with that. We're gonna go straight into it. As you guys know, the one and only Mr. Kobe Bryant was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame this past week, this past weekend, which passed. And as you guys know, his wife did a beautiful speech. She basically sat there and just let everybody. Sorry, she stood there with Michael Jordan, who presented the award to her. Um, She basically let everybody know what type of person Kobe Bryant was, how, he had the love that he had for the game, the blood, sweat, and tears that he put into the game, the fact that he was also a girl dad. He was very, very, very involved with his kids, his kids' lives, not missing recitals, any games, things of that nature. So just to know a little bit about Kobe Bryant, and to know that his legacy will live on forever, is amazing. Not only that, but the day of I'm sorry, the day before, his daughter had accepted his jacket. So as you guys know, when you're inducted into the Hall of Fame, they give you a Hall of Fame jacket. So his daughter was actually presented with that. It was a real tearful moment for everybody, and stuff of that nature. So she was unable to make it the next day because she had her prom, and her mom didn't want her to miss that. So she wasn't there, but her sisters were. So once again, our condolences go out to the Kobe's family, the Bryant family. And as you guys know, the GOAT will forever live on, the Black Mamba. Like, there will never be another Kobe, ever. Number 8, number 24, you know what I mean? Like yellow, purple. You already know what time it is. Lot of earring, Jocko. That's how you know it's about to get spicy. So as you guys know, Little Reese, recently, a couple days ago, Little Reese was in his car, and apparently a car pulled up beside him, and shots were fired. He was hit multiple times alongside 2 other individuals inside the car. As of right now, there are no updates as into how Little Reese is doing, but our prayers and thoughts go out to him. As you guys know, Little Reese is a Chicago rapper, which is well known in the streets. If you guys also know, Takashi 69 was also trolling him back then, talking about King Von and all that type of stuff. So he's still trolling, talking smack on the net, doing what he does best, basically saying that he kind of deserved it and things of that nature. But everyone knows that Takashi 69 does not matter. He's not a factor. He's never been a factor, and it is what it is. But once again, our prayers and thoughts go out to Little Reese, his family, and the 2 individuals that were also affected by this as well. So, as you guys know, Miss Erica Mena and our boy Safari Street, as you guys know, recently his house was robbed, broken into, and somebody stole 30 plus thousand worth of jewelry and more. They never really came up with the exact number, but they stole his daughter's pendant. If you guys have been following Safari, he had got a picture, basically a pendant of his daughter, and they stole that amongst other things, other jewelry and other things as well. And they're actually giving a 20K reward for anybody who has any information in regards to the suspects and where they can be found and things of that nature. So make sure you guys follow Erica Mena and Safari to know, if you have any information and you need 20K in your bank account like I do, then you can hit them up real quick and get some moolah. So as you guys know, last but not least, the one and only, last week I told you guys about the one and only queen is back in the building, Miss Nicki Minaj. Yes, honey, yes, finally rap is back. I'm tired of these. I'm just so tired. I'm so sorry. I'm tired of these female rappers, and Nicki needed to come back, and thank God she did. So as you guys know, she dropped her single with Drake and Lil Wayne called Seeing Green. When I mean that track, sick. When she said the queen, the goat, and the king is there, she was right, because that track just fit perfectly. I loved it. I loved everything about it. Lil Wayne was like Lil Wayne back in the day, like Carter 3 type stuff. Like, you understand what I mean? Like the Carter, like that's the Lil Wayne that I knew. Drake, he always does this thing on every track that he blesses, so I don't even need to talk about him. But Nicki Minaj, she did her thing, and as you guys know, with the ups comes the downs. Everybody's trolling, everybody wants to be seen, everyone's talking, and JT from City Girls decided she wanted, JT not only wanted to troll Nicki Minaj and talk smack about Nicki Minaj, but her little partner in crime, Mrs. Clarisha, decided she wanted to go out and basically ask Nicki Minaj if she's gonna unblock her, because apparently Nicki Minaj blocked her on Instagram because she did an interview on the Breakfast Club stating that she's Team Cardi, and it will always be Team Cardi. That's what City Girls are about. So at the end of the day, Nicki didn't want no mess with that, didn't want no parts of that. Now all of a sudden, Nicki's, up there, and you, my dear, want to come through and talk about, please unblock me. No, bitch, we ain't about to do that. You about to stay blocked. Keep that same energy that you had before. That's what I like. Keep that same energy. So when it comes to people clout chasing and people doing all that extra stuff to be in the spotlight or try to take the attention off of somebody and put it onto them, that I would say is the city girls right now. Maybe it's because their new record twerkathon is coming out, they're dropping it Friday. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. But you guys already know this is the Hot Topics with the one and only Brooklyn, and I will be back next week. So make sure you got your teas ready because I sure will. Deuces.
The topics them hot. The topic. Yo, I was watching a little bit of the that Miss I don't even know which one it was, but
Miss Universe.
from I see like one two of my country them gone. me just log off.
Mm.
Miss Jamaica won Miss World, I believe. Yeah, she won Miss World. So in 2000 on December 16th, they're gonna be crowning a new winner that day. So she'll be giving her crown up that day. She'll be handing her crown up. So Miss Jamaica did win 2021. So
Yeah,
we won that.
yeah.
20, sorry, 2020, sorry.
No, Trinidad won more than I think two or three right now. So just saying, just saying.
Yeah, and I won Miss Caribbean Queen being Miss Jamaica. So
Yo,
I'm
you guys,
happy.
you guys. I'll
Mm.
be back in 1 second. I'm just kind of hot. Just give me 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Because you have on the hat and you look like you have on sweater and then you have
No,
the
I'm
light
I'm
them.
I'm kind of hot. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, Jay Wiggs, you're hot, in general.
You guys,
Extra
you guys talk
strong.
amongst yourself for 30 seconds.
So Jada man was good.
Yo, I'm here, man. Yo, you see with those topics? Hold on. First thing first, we're hearing that you're buffering just a little bit, the connection.
Hmm.
Right. So I know every week you're kicking people off. Watch this guy's background. So
I was hot.
every
I was kind of hot. I just
I
want
know
to
every week
emphasize.
you're kicking people off the Wi-Fi or whatnot. But yeah, so we're buffering again. But just to let you know that, yo, that robbery that happened with Eric, what's her name? Erica Mene? I don't even know what how you say her last name. And Safari though.
Erica Mena.
Mena. That was crazy. That was crazy. Just how that youth rocking the stuff online, and yo, that speaks exactly to where we're going today. This
Yeah,
subject
that's why
matter.
that's why that's why I brought it up because
You
I'm
get what
just
I'm
like,
saying? The
this is
man,
ridiculous. And he's
yeah.
flossing it online. Like you have the man stuff online. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you're trying to speak subliminally. Like people don't know it's his daughter's face. Like how could somebody not know that that's Safari's chain? Like, come on, bro.
So let's go into it then. Let's go into it. Let's go into the subject. Well, what's the topic today, Wiggs?
Well, it's the topic. The topic.
We ain't there yet. We ain't there yet.
Frontin and stunting on social media. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was hot inside the studio, so I went outside in my on my driveway just to get some fresh air. You know what I mean?
Are your driveway at that?
Yeah, in my driveway. My driveway.
Yo, but what going on the business tip, B?
Oh, business tip. Well,
What going on the business
I
tip?
think it's about that time. What's up, everybody? My name is Ja Wiggs, and this is Fine Tune Your Biz, where every week I will drop some tips, some motivational talks, or answer some questions that we receive from the viewers. Now, I'm chilling outside on my driveway today. I was chilling on my driveway earlier today, and somebody said to me, "Hey, Ja Wiggs, do I need social media for my business?" And I said, "Well, definitely. I think you do. Here's a couple reasons why. Number one, social media creates a new dialogue with your clients that you weren't able to catch before social media existed. Another reason why it gives you a quick outlet to know what your audience is saying about you, right? It's also a quick way to do market research. The way a lot of these platforms are built, in terms of advertising and interactions and and lead generations and things like that. You get feedback and you get stats as to who's checking out your product, who's liking your post and things like that. So these are all advantages that you could use for your business. In addition to that, it's a real-time tool. So if you have a promotion, if you have a deal, if you have something that you need to offer your clients, a new product that just came out, you pop that up on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. The world is seeing your product instantly, and you get that, like I said, real-time instant feedback. So we can talk more about that on another episode. But to answer your question, definitely social media is a great tool for your business. Again, my name is Ja Wiggs, and that was Fine Tune Your Biz.
I like that. I like that. Social media, we need it, but there's moments when we don't need it. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Sometimes it could get hectic, but you see, when it comes to business, you gotta know how to use these tools, because these tools are there for your advantage, right? So
Hmm.
you gotta use the tools to your advantage. Now, that also plays in with the topic. Some people use it to their advantage more than others, but we'll get into that. Brooklyn, I think
Ready?
the things them have to talk, You ready for talk it?
I
Let's
watch.
Yes, so I'm here for talk the things them, and send my mount a giant church. So I'm gonna keep it short, sweet, and petite, just like myself. So this goes out to all the dirty people them. Yes, when I say dirty, I mean dirty. I mean all the people them will no say at the end of the day you only have a certain amount of money and you decide say because you want to look good for your friend them and the people them pan the little gram, you want to go spend your little last dollars that you don't really have. Meaning, my girl, if you know say you only can buy synthetic ear and not the human ear, make sure say you buy the synthetic and do a little ponytail instead of the little sew in, because you have to understand say your pitney them need to eat and all these type of things, and rent need to pay. And pum pension no run at the 31st or the 30th of the end of the month. The people them don't want them things there. So to all the man them who want go out and don't take care of them pitney them and go front panogram and go buy all the Louis and Gucci and all these little name brand and don't take care of them, you need to fix up yourself. So I'm not gonna go too much into it because as you guys know, our topic today is real heavy and spicy. So that's all I gotta say for you guys. Keep that in mind. If you can't afford it, don't get it. That means you weren't supposed to have it. A lot of us are spending more than we're actually gaining. So we need to understand that. Start saving your dollars. Come on, man. Let's go. And I'm out.
What you say? What you say? We have to, the people have to keep it within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if
Them-
I know,
Okay.
listen, at the end of the day, it's like I get it. Everybody wants to look cute. Everybody wants to look you want to get your hair cut, all this type of stuff. There's ways. If you know you can't get a haircut, put
Mm.
on a hat. Like swag it out a different way you understand what I mean? There's ways you can swag it out to make it work. You understand? As females, we find a lot of ways. Whether we have an old wig, new wig, this, that, second, and the third, we can make it work. Whether you have to go and buy $2 braids, the little
Mm.
expressions, the six ninety
Yeah,
nine,
I
seven
used to
ninety
buy a
nine
couple
pack.
of those for my
You
youths. Them.
understand what I mean? And
Yeah.
do a two little braids going back. You're good. You understand what I mean? Girls know what we're talking about. Or the little hairstyle where they braid it and do the little. Yo, girl,
Yeah.
make it
Okay.
work, bro.
Okay. So yo, all
Yo,
right. So let's go into this then. Let's go into this top. Like fronting and stunting, or
all right,
stunting and fronting on social media.
all right. So Jada, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because it was kind of chilly, so I jumped in one of the whips.
Yeah, how the man get into,
I
yeah.
jumped in the whip. It was kind of chilly, so I
All
jumped
right,
in the whip.
Miss Seal.
So, but question. So, fronting and
Yeah.
stunting.
Yeah.
Is there a difference, or what's the difference between the two? Like,
So you're
I'll answer
asking me?
after you. You tell me, is there a difference
Frontin?
between the two?
Yeah, frontin to me just really means you don't really, it's not really yours, or you don't really have it like that. So whatever you're putting out there, whatever you're showcasing, either you don't own or you don't have it like that. So you're portraying this thing that I'm living like this when you could be replenishing. So let's say you're putting money up on the gram or on social media. It's the same money you're drawing out every week for the same picture. You know what I'm saying? And created this, you're creating this picture that you have it and that you're living luxuriously and different things like that. So fronting, it's not yours, so you're borrowing, or you have a bit of means and you're perpetuating or you're showcasing it like it's more than what you got. That's what I
That's what
got.
you say fronting is. All right, Brooklyn.
Hmm.
What about stunting? He gave a definition of fronting. What do you say about stunting? Is it the same thing or is there a difference?
It all depends on what you consider to be stunting. Like, somebody who has it, like, are you mean like showing off wise, or is it, are you talking about like just doing it for the gram, but in real life they're like real humble people? That type of, it all depends on what we're talking about. Because
Well,
there are people that have it and they put it up on social media and people look at them like, yo, you stunting for the gram. And then there's people that in real life, I know that you're not like that, but you're stunting and putting your money out there and doing all that type of stuff, but low key you're not even like that. Like, you're a humble person that's very quiet, but
so
for the gram.
so based on like both of your definitions, right? I'm coming to understand that I would say there is a difference between fronting and stunting. Now, I would say fronting is kind of meaning you're putting it up there, but maybe you don't have it. Stunting is somebody who has it and is kind of showing off that they have it. Is that
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it's like a Rick Ross for stunting and then Bow Wow for fronting.
okay? Okay, I like that. I like how you brought up Bow Wow because that was a hot topic last year. I think he
Mm.
was he had one of the same planes that I just had in my driveway, and he was
Mm.
posing up in front of the plane. I mean, I know how it is when you're living that life. You know what I mean? But I guess sometimes you got to show it off. But what he's didn't he make an excuse and say, didn't he say everybody does it or something like that?
Yeah, he said celebrities do it. A lot of celebrities do it, which is known. A lot of celebrities do rent things and take pictures in it and act like it's theirs, but it's not. A lot of them say that it's fully paid for, but at the end of the day, they have, later down the line, you find out that their house is being, you know, foreclosed because of non-payments and all that type of stuff. So you know what I
Mm.
mean?
Well,
So hold on quickly. Just what happened with Bow Wow, just to give the context. Bow Wow was he boarded a plane, and he showed an image of him. I think boarding like a G4, G5, like a private plane, but he was on like a regular plane, right? And then somebody was behind him, and I think they seen his post and was like, "Hold on a second, I'm behind you, Brethren." And the man showed a picture of Bow Wow sitting like by the window or whatever, the same day, the same time, and so they just call it the Bow Wow challenge, making things appear real and they're not. So yeah, that's what that's about. But
all right.
yo, them time their wigs.
Yeah, well, let me just take a second and just remind all the viewers to don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow Viewpoints on all networks. That's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Big up all the viewers that are tuning in on all the networks. If you're watching on
Hmm.
Instagram and you want to get a better visual layout of the show, we do recommend that you click the link in our profile bio and check out the show on one of the other platforms. I also want to big up Michelle MC76, Ursula, Fancy Royal, and everybody else who's logging in on all the networks. If I missed you, post something in the comments so we could shout you out. And we have a great show lined up today, and we have some great guests. And I don't even want to take too much more time because we have some guests that have been waiting in the lobby. Now, the first guest I want to bring out today, her name is Kayla Bodden. She's a trauma abuse advocate for both men and women. You can find her on Instagram at Real Life Superwoman. She's gonna punch in and give us her feedback on today's topic. Let's bring her on. Kayla, how's it going today?
Hi guys, thank you for having me, Data.
Hi.
And everybody, hi.
Hey, what's up? Thanks. Welcome to the show. So you were um you were listening um fronting and stunting on social media. Before we get into the topic, I'd let everybody know who you are. Do you want to let everybody know about yourself and what you do?
Yes, for sure. So I'm a PA, I'm a physician assistant, which is one under a doctor, and I'm currently studying to become a doctor. And I also empower men and women within the community and Black community who have gone through trauma and abuse like myself. So my goal is, of course, to not cause diversion, but to bring people together, especially through Christ.
Okay. Okay. So I think I want to give, since we have a lady to set it off, I want to give our main lady here the honors of asking you the first question. And I think we have a set of questions for you, but I think you answered the first question. So go ahead, Brooke. Do your thing.
You're on mute.
You're on mute. She's bare teeth.
Yeah,
She
don't worry,
just
I got
want.
it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Sorry. I was too excited, my bad. So how you doing first off?
I'm good, and I put two together that you were the same girl that messaged me on my DM, so now I know who you are.
Yes, honey, it is me. And you look flawless. I love the skin, the hair, the
Thank
natural, everything.
you.
Beautiful.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. So my first question to you is, Kayla, how would you define frontin and how would you define stunting on social media to you?
For sure. So fronting to me is putting up a false facade, acting like you're better than who and what you really are, or better than other people. So I believe that that's what fronting is. And then the stunting part is, flashing jewelry and riches and money, females, houses that are mainly rented and Airbnbs, and projecting a rich, false lifestyle that you are not living.
I agree.
Yeah, so
I
that's
totally
those
agree.
are my definitions of fronting and stunting because they're two completely different things.
I like
Okay.
I like that. Some
Absolutely.
nice, clean, clear definitions. Again, I'd have to agree with what you said there as well. Now, I don't want to judge right now, but based on what I'm seeing, you don't seem to be the overly flashy type, right?
No, no, like
So
of course I love nice things as a woman, and of course I love, you know, gold jewelry because being half Middle Eastern, it's kind of in my blood. I love
okay,
the gold, but as a person on a day to day basis, I'm not going to project necessarily everything that I have behind closed doors, or even project that type of image on social media, because at the end of the day what you have material wise can be removed from you at any point in time, and that's not what matters. What matters is who you are and the type of person you are within yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I
Okay.
always say
So yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Brooke.
no, I'm saying I always say when you pass away, you can't bring all of those. You can't bring your money, you can't bring your riches, you can't bring your house, you can't bring any of that with you. You're by yourself.
Hmm.
Exactly.
So I totally agree with you.
Yeah, exactly.
So Kila, when I first spoke to you about this, coming on the show for this topic, you said like you had a lot to say about it, right? So I want to know, given that Wiggums, he mentioned that you're not necessarily, it doesn't appear, you don't appear to be, and you validified it, um, validated it, and you said that no, you're not the flashy type, but of course you like quality things and that sort of thing. What what is it about this topic that is connected to your world? Like, why did you feel, the passion to speak about this?
Well, I guess we're jumping ahead to that question then, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
yeah, so go ahead. Yeah, you can answer.
okay, so, well, for myself, I feel like this touches me in a way where I see on social media that women and men are doing a lot, you know, when it comes to OnlyFans, when it comes to rappers that are trying to make it, and singers and these IG models. It's like, who are you as a person? You know, it doesn't seem like anybody has a personality or a character, like a true character about themselves anymore. Everyone seems the same. All women are starting to look the same. All rappers are starting to sound the same. And it's like, what is really the issue? Like, what is really going on? Why is everyone trying to compete against one another, especially in the Black community? Why is everyone trying to cause more division instead of unity? Right? So these are like serious things that we do need to speak about. And that's exactly why I definitely wanted to contribute today, for sure.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Brooke, I'll let you. You can go ahead, my dear.
You're on mute again, Brooke.
Oh God damn it. Sorry, I'm just so excited. Sorry.
It's
So can you hear
okay.
me now? Can
Yes.
you hear me now? Okay. So my question to you is, are women generally attracted to men that appears to have it all together on social media, or vice versa?
Personally, no for me, because social media can be very deceiving. So being a woman who's a very observant, and I'm actually intelligent like yourself, you know, so I'm not going to be a woman who is easily deceived or is, you know, persuaded by a man that looks good on social media or drives nice cars or he's a lawyer, et cetera, because one, I don't know who you are. You know, two, I also don't use my social media for dating purposes. I use it to share, you know, my relationship with God, how God has impacted my life, be a motivational speaker, empower people to get through trauma and abuse as well as my journey becoming a doctor and being that underdog that, you know, is not necessarily supposed to be the one that makes it out. So I want to give people that encouragement on social media, but everybody does have a story and everybody does use their social media platform for different purposes. But again, we know that people, you know, project one image of who they are, but behind closed doors, they're abusers, or they have 12 children, or you don't really know what they really do in the real life, right? And who they really are as a person.
I, girl, you're hitting everything on the head, like everything. Because I say the same thing. Like cars, money, all of that doesn't entice me. I need to know. I need to get to know you. Like it has nothing to do with that. You can get a car, you can get a house. None of that doesn't entice me. So with social media, like you said, it's very deceiving. Some people may look sexy, and then when you meet up with him, girl,
And not even
you are.
that, you know, it's, we have to understand that a lot of narcissistic people and a lot of people that have mental health issues tend to try to rope in people through social media because they
Mhm.
know that in the real life people aren't going to take them seriously or even want to speak to them. And I noticed that a lot of men that are the type of men to chase after women on social media, it's like you don't even know her. You know what I'm saying? You like, what is it? Is it just because she has nice pictures? Like, what exactly are you aiming for? So, you know, people need to go back to old school ways and understand, you know, yes, we have social media, yes, we have technology, but use them for good purposes. Start using them, you know, to share your voice and to do things that are of value instead of trying to obtain validation from people that aren't even going to be at your funeral.
That's a Fendi fact.
Yeah.
That's facts.
That's
So
facts
go
right
ahead,
there.
Wig.
So, Kayla, let me ask you a question. Now, you don't have to get into too much detail, but what is the worst case of fronting and or stunting that you have seen on social media?
Okay, so the worst case of fronting would be women who get social media and they put up a fitness journey, like they achieve that body through working out, but they have plastic surgery. And I
Yeah.
I know that that has
That's
a,
a fact.
and you know what, this is not to put down women, this is to encourage them to find, you know, themselves, because the problem is that society and men who are broken, they're attracted to women like that. And the problem with women that do that, it's like, okay, yes, you got plastic surgery, but you didn't obtain that body through fitness. Where there's people like myself and many of my other girlfriends that really work out and
That
do
are really trying. Yeah.
that are really
Mhm.
trying to stay healthy and have a fit, strong body. But at the same time, it's like that's not who you are, and that has a lot to do with insecurities too, right?
That's a
Wow.
fact.
I mean, I'm seeing that a lot. So, and then they're also and then they're selling the products after, like the waist
Yeah.
trainers, and acting like they did all of this when they actually did some surgery and stuff like that.
And also, just for any women that are watching or will watch this, from a medical perspective, waist trainers are actually very detrimental to your body and your organs. So you should not be using waist trainers at all to obtain a small waist whatsoever.
Yeah, somebody told me that as
Oh,
well, because it compacts your organs
Yeah.
where they're not really supposed to be.
Yeah, and you know what? You need to be grateful, and you need to be happy with what the body that God has given you, because at the end of the day, yes, we have our days where we're not 100% confident in ourselves. But you know what? That confidence externally has a lot to do with what you're struggling within. So once you look within yourself, then you will be able to overcome those issues of trying to seek validation from people all over social media. So that would definitely be the worst case of fronting for me. And the worst case of stunting would be a lot of Toronto rappers are renting mansions and Lambos instead of showing their current struggle.
oh,
Facts.
I like those answers.
Boom.
Your answers are nice, to the point, and they're meaningful. They're powerful. So I like that one.
Boom.
And
so
hopefully one of the guests will be able to respond to some of those comments as well. Jada,
Yeah,
go ahead.
because I know a lot of rappers, they based on their song and who they are trying to target, they make excuses as to why they're using those materials in their music videos. But it's like, brother, you didn't start off with that. I want to see your come up. I want to see what you actually went through. It doesn't matter if it's ugly. You know what I'm saying? The Bible is very ugly stories. So what is the difference between you showing the world of what you have gone through, who you are as a person? Because I know for a fact you are not able to spend a large amount of money to purchase a Lamborghini. So why would you rent it? Right? Even if you want to use nice cars in your videos, make sure that your lyrics are matching up to what you're projecting, and do not make it seem like you own it when you are still living with your parents, right? So you
mm,
need to be very careful with what you're projecting into the world, because you're going to receive people's, negativity back. You're going to receive people saying negative things about you stunting and fronting in your music videos and on social media. And people that make powerful music and are powerful artists, they don't receive as much hate as those people because they're being authentic, right? What happened to music? Music is to show your story and be authentic, right? Music is energy. So if you're going to release all this toxic energy and project a toxic lifestyle, then I don't feel bad for you when you receive hate, right?
Yeah.
so no, no,
Boom.
that's big there. So let me say something. With Okay, so artists portray that they have it because at some point from the 80s, late 70s, 80s, where rap was really about, when the guys started it in the Bronx and New York, and they're really just showing, the burned down buildings and whatnot, and it was a social piece. It turned into a lavish, Puff Daddy, all that stuff, right? So, and then at some point you couldn't really get no play. So the industry has a lot to do with it too, because there's a point where you can't get no play in the industry, and also you don't get any play in the streets. I was just on the show, the Love Panel, last a few days ago, and I spoke about it as well too. What is your environment accepting? You get what I'm saying? Because if everybody was more accepting, yo, show me the dirty bed you slept on, show me the ground, the hood. Like, if they're accepting of those things, then it would be portrayed more. Sometimes like the hood is glorified, so everybody does tracks in their hood. You get what I'm saying? But and then with the hood, you got the Lambos and you got the jewelry and stuff like that. So
But
it's almost like it's people are confused. It
it
is
doesn't make
yeah.
sense to do a video in the hood with a Lamborghini.
I know.
It does not make sense. If you grew up in the hood, if you grew up in the projects like myself, I never owned a Lamborghini. I have yet to own a Lamborghini. And, as humbled as I am, it would be nice to have a pink Lamborghini. I'm not going to lie. But at the end of the day, material things don't mean anything to me. And, people that I know, including myself, who have actually gone through real life issues and grew up in, a single mother home and have gone through street violence, etc., it's like, okay, you know what? Why is it that people like us don't say too much unless we're spoken to about it? And then you have rappers that are from very small towns, living in nice houses, who are projecting that they're from the hood when you're not. And when you're from a certain lifestyle that you're not, is that for clout? Is that for attention? Is that so you can fit in with your boys? Because if you have a group of guys, right, and your rappers or a group of your boys, you're clearly competing with them or trying to obtain validation from them. If you're trying to make everyone look at you like, well, yeah, I'm a gangbanger too, and I'm a gangster too. Like, come on, we need to.
Here's the other thing, Kayla. Sorry to cut you.
No,
What are the women asking for? And as I said this before. What are the women asking for? Because that's where the
So,
energy is driven to.
so Jada, before, sorry, let me jump in front of that because we just have a comment. So I don't want to get too deep into the conversation without Kayla responding.
for sure.
Ambitious Gems mentioned. I think people are stunting and fronting because of the attention you get. It's very big in the black community. It's very big in the black community because most of us came from nothing. Um,
Yes, Gems. I like that. I really like that because the problem is people that have come from nothing, like myself or you or whoever, right? I think they do it as they some people say it because they think that they can receive more validation because they came from nothing. And it's like, I one of my best friends is a Caucasian girl, and she's one of the realest girls I've known, and she grew up on a farm. She didn't come from nothing. She came from a strong family, and it's just like I also have friends who have come from nothing and have come from the streets, and so it's like you need to check yourself and see what are you doing, what you're doing for, like, who are you trying to receive validation from. She said a lot of white people on IG don't front and stun at all. They look casual and show their adventure activities, while a lot of black people show jewelry, cars, and clothes. Because you know why? Society, police, and white people have come against black people for centuries, that they feel like you can feed war with war. And that's not going to work. You cannot feed war with war. And maybe if everybody started to live how they were supposed to live, we wouldn't be in the situation that we were in now, especially with the world and especially with social media. Women wouldn't be doing the most if men treated them better, if they didn't deal with their insecurities, their daddy issues, and their pain. And men wouldn't be trying to front and stunt if women didn't dog them and put them down and, treat them differently because they don't have anything and they don't know how to make it out, right?
That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, what you got? Hold on, before you go,
I agree
Brooklyn.
1,000.
Hold on, before you go, Brooklyn. So, Kayla, to that last question that that we read from Ambitious Gems, um, my thing is, okay. So you're a physician, Ambitious Gems Astrology. So
Assistant.
you're a Sorry, say that again.
I am a physician assistant. I'm one under a doctor, and I'm currently studying to become a doctor.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Physician assistant,
Yeah.
one level under a doctor.
Yeah.
Very good. We're very proud of you, and you're studying to become a doctor.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, you're around doctors, you're around some of these folks, and I'm sure a lot of them are Caucasian, a lot of them are non-black folks, right? Black identified folks. Do they stunt? Like, do you see? So to speak to Ambitious Gems' piece, do they stunt in any way, or like, what is that like? Because there's this perception, or there's this ideology with our folks that say, just like what she said, hey, white people aren't doing it, it's only us. So I
That's
want you to speak to that.
So that's definitely false because there is a lot of white people that do the same thing. Especially there is a white rapper in Toronto. I won't say names, but there is a white rapper who does the same thing. She wants to fit in to be black so bad, and she's projecting this spirit about her that's just very, it's
But
toxic.
outside of black, like so
Yeah.
in a
So
normal Caucasian world, what is are they do the people stunt as heavy as we do? Do they do it at all or not?
yeah, so to continue what I was saying, I was using that as an example. So when it comes to within the hospital that I have seen with doctors, it's very rare. Why? Because we're all doing, our goal is to do the same thing. You need to be around people who are like-minded, and then you're not going to deal with people who are trying to compete with you. It's very, very rare that I come across a doctor or nurses or a PA like myself or someone who's studying to become a doctor who is stunting and fronting, because it's like we have a goal, we have a purpose, we know who we are, we know what our why is. But there are a lot of Caucasian people who do try to fit in, whether that's with the black community or just in general, because they want to have that money. They want to drive a nice Mercedes Benz in the suit and tie and be the next, Justin Timberlake. So it's like it works with both. I would say it's equal. We can't just say it's just the black community that does that.
Okay, beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
All right, Brooklyn, you want
That's
to
a
go ahead with the
fact.
next question?
Then we the last question because we didn't. Sorry, because we didn't go in order. So
All
all
right,
the
no worries.
questions were asked.
So I'll go ahead and ask.
Go ahead.
So Kayla, so other than, as opposed to like somebody stunting and fronting on these outlets that we have such easy access to, what are other ways that, like, what are some other outlets that people can 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 use instead of stunting and fronting?
So what number question was that? Just because I have a lot of notes, I want to make sure I touch on.
Um, you should be looking at question number 7, where, like, what other outlets can people use to build up their self-esteem?
Okay, so to build up their self-esteem, first and foremost, you need to put God first in your life, 100%. And I'm not speaking from a religious standpoint, but when you have validation through Christ and through God, you're unstoppable, and no one can tell you anything about who you are and what you are. You need to surround yourself around healthy environments, healthy people, people that actually want to be successful, people that actually want to reach their goals and potential, and not be comfortable in their circumstances and their pain and trauma that they have gone through, and trying to project all of that to the world to get validation. People also need to focus on their purpose and their passion. They need to stop being influenced by the media and what's hot. Being the odd one out, is seems to be a struggle for people. People don't want to be the odd one out, but you know what, sometimes the odd one out is the underdog. And one of my best friends, Khadijah, I was just having this conversation with her. I'm like, I remember back in the day, people used to really stone me, and they used to talk really bad about me. And then it was like all those people are below me now, and they're not doing well in their life. And a lot of them ended up in jail, and a lot of them are not successful. Why? Because when you're a true underdog, you don't care what people have to say because you know who you are, right?
Yeah.
And then just concluding, um, a lot of people that deal with insecurities, mental health issues, and are fronting and stunting on social media are dealing with a lot of mental health issues. So my recommendation is to seek counseling, seek psychotherapy. A lot of rappers, especially within Toronto, have gone through a lot of street violence, a lot of trauma, a lot of abuse. So all that anger and all of that negativity comes out in their music, and it comes out on social media 100%.
All right. Well, I like those words. I like those words. Right now, just to close it off, I just want to ask if you have any other words of wisdom for those people, or for those persons that are out there saying to themselves, "Oh, I'm gonna create a new Instagram page, or I'm gonna go to the bank and I'm about to go withdraw that paycheck and throw it up on the Instagram." What words of wisdom do you have for those people?
So, first and foremost, if you are financially stable and you are confident about your sexuality, you would not need to wear 8-pound chains or have 8 women around you twerking. That's my first set of wisdom from you. And I was also inspired from Obama because he spoke on that as well from a businessman's perspective. You know, stay in school. Stay in school. Education is key. You know, focus on your purpose. Ignore the hate and the hype. You know, focus on God instead of demon time, because a lot of rappers think demon time is so funny and so cute when it really isn't, because you're just projecting more negativity, more ugliness. And you know, there's only two sides to go. It's either, you know, you're walking towards God or you're walking towards the devil. So you pick or you choose. You know, people can laugh at me, but at the end of the day, you're creating your own destiny for your life. um and please don't project a life that you never lived, especially when it comes to street violence and gang banging, because some people like myself who actually grew up around that and went through certain things that people don't know about and know about, it was not by choice. So there's people that actually were hurt in the streets and actually went through certain things in life, whether that's a woman or a man. You know, so just be very mindful, you know. And if you are a rapper, like, I want to hear what your story is, but I want to hear it without, you know, the flashy stuff. Eventually that stuff will come, but even when it comes, it's like that's not who you are. So that's my conclusion with my advice.
Well, thank you. That's some great advice. And again, Kayla, I want to thank you for joining us on the Viewpoint Show. You provided us with a lot of insightful information, and you provided a lot of feedback on today's topic. Now, can you please let the audience know where they could find you and any projects that you have upcoming?
For sure. So I definitely have a lot of projects coming up. You guys can follow me on social media at Real Life Superwoman on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Those are the only social media platforms I have. I do not have any other social media or dating websites. I know there has been some fake pages in the past, so I don't have any of that. And then, of course, you know, just with my journey, focused on becoming a doctor and focused on helping my Black community first and foremost. So yeah, you guys stay tuned into my page. I'm always posting. And if you need any advice, medical advice as well, I'm definitely the one to come to. So thank you guys for having me.
All right, thank you. Thank you for joining us. All right. So, Wigs.
Always like muted.
Yo, I mean, she has her views, and this is what it is. It's viewpoints, right? Everybody has their views, and she has a certain lens. She's, looking at it from a certain lens, and and she's justified in however she sees it and however she views it and feels about it,
Yeah,
right?
everybody's gonna have their views, their own views.
Exactly. And we know we got some others coming on, and they're gonna have a different view potentially or similar views, and some of them are living it, so it's different.
But
She's taught. Yeah, go ahead.
no, sorry. Some people, I was trying to get in before she ended. I wanted to say to her, like, some people don't have, like, coming from, she's saying that she came from, like, where we, like, you know, going through all of that, the violence, whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
A lot of us in communities like that don't have nobody to turn to or have positive role models like herself that is able to, you know what I mean? Like, these kids nowadays don't really have anybody that's really a real role model around them to show them certain things and to talk to them and say, you know, you understand what I mean? And not, as everyone says, school is not meant for everybody. Just because you know, your parents, a lot of parents want you to finish high school. You going to university or college is a blessing in itself. You understand what I mean? Some people just can't do the school thing. So I feel like trying to push the school thing on people sometimes is too much. It's like trying to push religion on somebody. Like, if that's not what they're about, that's not what they're about. They just need to find their niche and focus on that. And I feel like once every youth finds their niche, which right now I feel like everyone thinks it's rapping, they're gonna, you understand, some of them, like Doovie, is making it out, and slowly Pressa, certain mans are making it out
Mm.
because of their struggle. But at the end of the day, like, we don't have a lot of positive
And
role models out there for
but
us
here's
to.
the other thing too. I feel that there's nothing wrong in aspiring to get, because they talk about law of attraction, right? Like if you're talking about people with successful mindsets, the law of attraction. So speak it into existence, right? And you draw it into you. So I know that from being an artist as well too. You present yourself a certain way. Not to say I ever fronted, but you present yourself, because I'm always clean. You don't know we still, but yeah. So you present yourself and it attracts a certain likeness to you. In the 50 Cent documentary, or in 50 Cent story, when he went and presented his tape to this guy, he was just like, in the movie it shows it too. He's like, yo, that's your Benz? And it was really his Benz. And he took him seriously because, okay, so this guy he ain't playing. He's about his business. He's getting it. So we know that in the streets as well too. That there's a level of that needs to happen for you to jump certain hurdles too. So let's talk about it. This is where we're at. Viewpoints. Who's
Well,
next?
let me just take a second and shout out all the viewers that are tuning in on all the networks. Big up Good Girl, Shy, big up Luva Dunn, big up everybody that I see up on the timeline. Do remember to like and subscribe to Viewpoints on all networks. All the networks are up at the top. You can check the information at the ticker over here as well. And if you're watching on Instagram and you want to get a full visual layout of the show, do remember to click the link in our bio, in our profile bio, and check out the show on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Now, without further delay, I think it's time we bring on our next guest. Now, this man is a name that is popular in Toronto. When it comes to dance hall, when it comes to fashion, when it comes to style and swagger, this man's name has to mention.
Has to
And
mention.
and
It
and
has
there's
to
no better
mention.
segue than to introduce to you Mr. Mikey Mention. Welcome to the show, boss man, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me.
No
Thank you,
problem, no
Mr.
problem.
My
Mikey.
mic's
Mikey,
on, right? My mic's
Welcome.
on. My mic's on, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
we can hear you. We can hear
Yeah.
you now. Now, Mikey, when
All
you
right.
were in the green room, I was checking out the scenery, and I seen some palm trees. I seen some sun. Mikey, can you introduce yourself? Tell the people who you are, where you are, and then let's start there.
I mean, to introduce myself would it would take a long time to do that. In the smallest aspect, I am Mikey Mention. If you notice, I'm from your name, I mention that's me right there. Right now, I'm in Florida. I'm trying to live it up a little bit with the lockdowns going on in Toronto. So, yeah, I mean, I don't want to say too much about myself. I don't want to come across cocky. I don't want to come across arrogant, and I don't want to come across as if I'm dumbing down who I am. So, I mean, I
No
think
problem.
everybody knows who I am
Understandable.
by now. Yeah.
Well, let me also just say congratulations. You are our first international guest on the Viewpoint Show. Thank
I'm
you
not
for
even,
joining us
bro, I'm not even,
all the way
bro,
from sunny
I got a
Florida.
401,
International.
I got a 416 area code. I'm not international.
All right. Well, Mikey, let me start by asking you this. Let me start by asking you this question.
All right,
Now,
let's
we
go.
posed the topic from early. Now, do people actually front like they have things on social media, or is that just a myth?
No, it's definitely not a myth. People do it. I've seen a lot of people do a lot of things where you look at it and you're like, that's not your reality. And a lot of people don't live in their reality because social media has built this platform where you feel like you got to be somebody that you're not in order to fit in with everybody else. And I think a lot of people need to take a step back for a moment and realize that, who you are is who you'll always be. And if people don't accept you for who you are, then you got to hang out with people who, you know what I mean, who fit the criteria of who you are. But I mean, I think it's a young set mind that a lot of people don't understand that.
So, Brooke, I want you to ask the next question. I want
I
you to
totally
go.
agree with you, Mr. Mikey, because the people that you hang out with, yes, man, on already. I love the vibes. Like you guys' energy is always there,
Yeah.
all the time. So, Mr. Mention, you are heavy in Toronto and international dancehall scene. Have you seen this type of fake portrayal there too in international waters or just in Toronto?
No, it goes both ways, to be honest with you. I've seen a lot of people. I know a lot. I wouldn't say I know a lot of people because if I knew them, I would actually stop them. I do know a few. Um, like even people who I know personally who call me and be like, yo, let me borrow your Louis bag for this, or let me borrow your Louis this for that, or yo, let me borrow your Gucci sneakers for this. And like, I'm the type of person that I don't let nobody nothing. I put a lot of hard earnings into everything that I have, and I look at a lot of things in life like I don't want to give you something that's mine. When you give it back to me, the crosses out of your life comes into my life, right? So therefore,
Mhm.
I don't lend out stuff. But I mean, I've known a lot of people who have asked me to borrow things based off just for the image that they want to project for that moment, and I'm not with it because I put a lot into what I have, and nobody never gave me anything. I'm not about to give anybody that's mine just so you could show stop on anybody else. It's just not my thing. But international, I do know a lot about the international world. A lot of people who you see on social media who are your big icons and your style icons, like a lot of them do buy shit and they return it. You know what I mean? It's just for the moment. Like they buy these big designer name brands that you see and you're like, oh my God, goals. I love this. I want to be about this. But they're really bringing it back tomorrow. So what goals are you really following? Anybody can buy something today and bring it back tomorrow. It's not
So
goals.
Mikey, so then let me ask you, like,
Mhm.
why do people do it? And can faking it be dangerous?
People do it because of social media. You have the rappers and the models and the video vixens and the girls who are dating rappers and stuff who portray like I'm gonna use what's her name, Sweetie, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She's
Yeah.
on the Instagram talking about, oh, if your man don't buy you a Birkin, throw him to the street. So what do you think girls are gonna do? These girls want to feel like they're popping like her, so what they're gonna do, they're gonna buy the fake bags, or they're gonna rent the bags, or they're gonna do all these things because they're like, okay, well, I look up to you. Like, imagine if you looked up to me as a person and I'm like, well, if you're wearing Zara, then you're trash. Then you're gonna be like, okay, well, I can't wear Zara no more because I look up to Mikey and Mikey's saying that Zara's trash. So I can't be wearing Zara. I gotta be doing what he's saying. So these people look up to these people because they don't really have a mind of their own and they're looking at these people as if like this is goals, but you really can't look at somebody and say that this is goals when you really don't know what they're doing to get what they get, and you don't know what they have to endure to have what they have. Like if you look at Sweetie again, like she was talking about bags this and bags that, and then a couple months later after that, she comes out saying that Quavo was doing this to her and doing that to her. So you're looking at it like, okay, well, here I am hearing this girl talk about bags, this, and if your man ain't buying you a bag, your man ain't doing this for you, throw him to the streets. But you're taking abuse in an elevator, or you're doing this, you're doing that. Like you don't know what people are going through to do that. So sometimes you just really can't follow what people are saying because the same amount that eat sugar is the same amount that eat salt, and you never know what people are really about.
Mm,
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
okay.
Mhm.
So, all right, this part here is a little uncomfortable because I haven't spoken, and
Nothing.
then I have to clear the, no, no, not the questions. I have to clear the
Oh,
air just so
okay.
people know. Mikey is my little cousin. All right.
Okay, I'm just like
Our
you're
So,
like
mothers,
what? I'm like,
our
what is
mothers
going
are
on?
sisters,
our mothers are
and we have the
sisters,
same grandmother.
and we have the. All right, and we're all born and raised in the same house.
Yep.
So anyhow, all right. So Mikey, here's the next question.
All right, cuz go on.
So a lot of people will look at you, look at
Hmm.
your portrayal, and say, okay, if you're thinking about this show, he's somebody that stunts. All right.
Hmm. Hmm.
So why do you do it, or why is it important to do it? That you show, the behind the scenes of your lifestyle.
Cuz to be completely honest with you, there's so much of my life that I leave out of social media. A lot of my life I leave out of social media. I mean, if you really think about it and you look at my social media, you would think, okay, this guy only dresses up, this guy goes to parties, and this guy goes on vacation. That's all you would think that exists in my life. There's a lot of stuff that I don't post about my personal life, and the reason why I don't post like personal stuff is I don't leave breadcrumbs for criminals. I mean, if I do too much and I show too much, then you know too much. And I'm really not about that. Like, there's been a lot of controversy that has surrounded my life in like my dance hall years. So it's made me so uncomfortable with sharing what's really going on in my life that therefore I don't do that. So I show you like the fun stuff, but I mean, me showing you the fun stuff, I don't show you the sweats, I don't show you the tears, I don't show you the heartaches, I don't show you the headaches, I don't show any of that. So that's just I'm only showing the fruits of my labor. I haven't really showed anything else. I really try to keep things as minimal as possible. Um, if I go out and I buy a nice pair of shoes and I want to wear it, I'm going to wear it. But like, I don't do things like going to a store and taking pictures of me buying stuff. I used to, yes. And I used to do it only in the aspect to bother my haters because I have a lot of them and I wanted to be like, all right, let me just trouble them because I know it's going to trouble them. I know if I do one little small thing, it's going to rattle their feathers. But then I more and more I see other people doing it. I'm like, nah, this looks tacky. Like, so I don't video me buying stuff. I barely even video me going on vacation. You'll see me on the vacation, but you won't see me like, or taking a picture saying I'm going on an airplane. You won't see me taking a picture of my credit card when I buy stuff or my debit card when I buy stuff. You're not going to see me putting out cash when I buy stuff. Like, I don't do any of those kind of stuff. I think it's tacky, and I stay as far away from anything that's tacky as possible.
Yeah, you know, Mikey, I kind of agree with you on some of the stuff you said because I kind of follow some of those tactics. You see, when I'm posting a vacation, people don't know me probably come back 2 weeks already. You see, when
Mm-hmm.
I'm posting me on the plane, me done land 3 hours ago. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of, just like you said, I kind of do that. Number one, because I don't want nobody putting their bad mind on me. I don't want people to be like, oh, that's where he is. Let's go. You know what I mean? We talked about it a couple weeks ago. The situation, I think it was with Pop Smoke, where he was showing off something that he got in the mail, and his address was there.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody seen that address, and they say that's what caused his untimely death. So some people say he was showing off and it caused that situation. Some people say it was just coincidence, but people say don't show off.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So then let's segue to that then. Then how dangerous is it then? Would you say it's dangerous stunting on the
It,
gram or stunting on social media? Is it dangerous?
I mean, every single person that exists in this world wants to wants to broadcast their accomplishments. Everybody. You could have a doctor who has all the degrees in their office. And the reason why they do it is because it's to broadcast it. That's what they do. They love it. So I mean, somebody buying a new home or somebody buying a new car, stuff like, why should you not post it? Because you know what, you have potentially envious people who are going to want to hurt you for it. But however, there are things that people do on social media that I think that they should stop doing because that is going to lead to your possible demise. Like posting a stack of money. You don't gotta post that. If you have it, you have it. We know it. Like you could look at someone and be like, all right, they have it. They have it. And if you don't have it, you don't have it. Like that's just that posting money and posting you buying this and you posting you doing this and you posting doing that. Like some of the things that I see a lot of people doing on social media, like I look at it and I'm like, you know what? They gotta stop. And then sometimes when I check their age bracket, I'm like, all right, well I get why they're doing it. They're still young, and there's a lot of things like I'm more than positive if Instagram and things were as popular, name brand and all of these things were as important now as they were when I was probably 26. Like maybe I would be doing the same thing, but I'm not 26 anymore. So I don't really resonate with what they're doing, but I wish that they would stop because all they're doing is setting themselves up for people to hurt them.
How important, when you talk about social media, right? How
Hmm.
important do you feel it is to like take a break from social media? Because sometimes a lot of people say, you know what, I had to take a month off, 2 months off, probably even a year, or sometimes shut down their account. Do you find sometimes you have to stay away from social media yourself, or because of the negativity and things like that, or no?
Nah, even when they're done in me, I wouldn't they have 10,000 page about me and 10,000 Instagram blog. But then again, I'm not saying this because I'm on your interview. I'm telling you this because it's naturally who I am. I'm a very strong individual. So it takes a lot more than words to break me, and it takes a lot more than negativity to break me. I use every negative stone that's thrown at me to build up an empire. So I don't look at anything like people send me all the time. They make fake profiles about me, and people send it to me, or people send me like comments that they have to write about me on blogs, and I read it and I'm like, oh God, they need a life, and I go on with myself. But it honestly, like, this is not coming from a 35-year-old. I'm telling you, I've been going through this since I was like 21 years old. So I mean, it's been years of hard bricks that have been thrown at me that I've literally had to use and build my back. So it's easier for me to look at it and be like, oh well, whatever. I know people who are like related to me or thing, and they come to me about things that they're going on in their lives, and I'm like, like you can't let it bother you. But at the same time, of me telling you not to let something bother you, I'm being hypocritical because at your age it would have bothered me, but at my age now, after going through for so long, I look at it like, all right, people just have no lives, and I just keep it moving. But not everybody has that mindset. So me and social media, like social media to me is just for entertainment. It's nothing. It's nothing as serious as other people take it.
All
Yeah,
right.
you know, and you know, just before you go, Wiggs, you know what's big about you, Mikey? Your resiliency. No matter
Mm-hmm.
how, as you said, your name is in everything. Um, you know, they've been throwing bricks and stones, and you're still standing. And you know, there was an incident last year that I seen, and just to know, like, I almost forgot about it because you just kept doing your thing. You just kept doing your thing.
Cause
The
You know what
next
I'm
that
day.
saying?
was that was that it wasn't even I didn't even have to get stitches for that. So I mean I had to laugh it off, right? So I
Yeah.
mean,
The next day you were
in
at a
life,
party. I swear you were at a
everything
party the
comes.
next
The
day.
next no, the
Yeah,
same
the next
night.
day, I swear.
No, it was the
I
same
swear the
night. I
next day
went to
you were
my
at a
car and
party.
changed. No, it was the same night. I
Yeah,
went
the
to my
same
car and
day you
changed
went to
my
a party.
clothes.
But it's your
Yeah,
mindset.
so
So where I'm
All right.
going
So,
is the mindset. Your
all right.
mindset is very strong. But
So,
Wig,
Mikey,
very
go
close.
ahead, brother.
so with that being said, just like Jada said, so and you mentioned earlier in your younger days in the dancehall scene, there might have been a narrative that you were like wild and you know causing a lot of ruckus in the dance hall. Not just you, but you know the crowd and the maybe
Hmm.
the some of the friends and family that you associate with, right? Now, over the years, has that narrative changed about you? And if so, what what caused it to change, if it did?
So, all right. So listen to me. I would personally say the narrative has changed me as a person, and I think that anybody that knows me personally would say that. But you are still gonna have the naysayers that will say, "Oh God, Mikey this, Mikey." But realistically, if you think about it, I have not been in anything that makes any sense to anybody because the older I've gotten is the more and more I've accomplished so much more in my older years. You know what I mean? When they say that life gets better after 30, they're not lying to you. So when I got to a certain age and I started to accomplish so much and I started to do so much, I looked at things like I can't allow people to stop what I'm doing because if they stop me from doing what I'm doing, who's gonna do it for me? There's nobody who's gonna do it for me. So in that aspect, I looked at I changed my things like where back in the days, like if somebody would say boo about Mikey, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna fly in their face when I see them because why are you talking about me? I'm not doing you nothing. But the
You would be
Mikey
quick
me
to
now,
respond.
yeah, the Mikey me now. I'm telling you, sometimes they write me messages underneath my Instagram post. They're in my DM. They write all kind of things. You know what I do? I just block them. I don't respond. I don't say anything to them. I'm gonna tell them I'll be at parties and I hear people calling out my name. The only thing I will not tolerate till this very day is if you talk about me and you come and talk to me, I'm gonna shut you down right away. I'm gonna say I heard what you said, and when you see me, I would just appreciate you go your way and let me go my way. Then me back then would have flap in your face and carry on and go on my antics. But now I'm like just keep the hypocritical energy away from me because I'm not a hypocritical person. I don't show hate. I was never raised to show hate. I show love to anybody who deserves to be showed love to. But the me then and the me now is not the same. Is not the same person. And I don't. I just think that me and everybody that I know, that me and a lot of them are not even friends anymore. First of all, and second of all, like I just have too much to lose than to give somebody who has nothing to lose that energy.
All
So
right.
when
Well, Mikey, I just want to shout out some of the viewers. It looks like you got a lot of fans here.
a lot.
Forever29 said, "Big up, Mr. Mention." Carrie Forever is on the IG. We got TK Knight. We got Carissa. We got Serve Your Life. We got a lot of people bigging you up and shouting you out. So, again, thanks for joining the show. Now, quick question, Mikey.
I
Uh,
think Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn had something.
oh, all right.
Brooklyn, you were gonna
Go ahead.
go.
Pardon?
I feel like you were gonna ask something. Your
No,
time.
because no, because he was talking about like people. He You don't really get into it anymore with people, right? And things of that nature. What do you think caused them to? Is it more of a they don't like you because of what other people say, or is it more because they feel like you're stunting? What do you feel the reason why you get so much hate or backlash?
Um, well, I'm gonna be honest. This is just my opinion. Again, it could be wrong, but it's my opinion. My opinion is that when you know you can't break somebody, it's a hard thing to do, right? So when you and I go off of this based off of like me and people having conflicts through the years. It's always like, okay, well, you know what? He gets away with too much, and everything he gets away with, he goes out and everybody still loves him. All right, well, I'm gonna show you guys that I'm gonna bring him down. I'm gonna be the one to bring him down. I'm gonna be the one to show you guys that he's nothing. And every time they come with it, They set a brick and I stand on it, and they set a next brick and I stand on it. They set a next brick and I stand on it.
You
And
just keep
I
going.
honestly can tell you, like there's like there might be things in my personal life that have had effects on me, but dancehall world can't have effect on me because I use that as an entertainment. It's for me to go out and for me to have fun. And anybody who knows me for, my legal name, and people who know me from Shoreham to Sparways to Orton Park to 400, anything, they know me for who I am, right? So anybody else, they're gonna have to know me based off of who they want me to be. And I heard a saying a long time ago that, belief kills and belief cures. Whatever you believe will stay in your head until you get it out. And I as a person can't tell you or make you believe or unbelieve something about me that you don't want to believe. You're gonna have to be the person to live with that, and that's just gonna be on you.
Okay. So let me ask
So
this one, Mikey.
All
All
right,
right.
go on.
So you are probably heralded as one of the best dressed in Toronto history. And I'm
Hmm.
gonna go out there with the Toronto history.
No,
There's
no,
no
it's a
one.
fact. It's a
There's
fact. It's a
That's a
fact.
fact. No one's
it's a
had a
fact. It's
run.
a fact.
Nobody
Top five.
check the stats. Check the stats.
Top five. Top five.
Right. So a lot of
The
people out
top.
there. A lot of people out there are gonna want to know, or they probably want to know, where did you get this fashion sense from? Where do you get the style from? Talk to
You
them.
know, so it's crazy because like one thing with me is I look at the domain of everybody else, right? So if everybody's in this, I don't want to be in it. Um, I try my hardest to do things that step out of a box, and with what makes it easier for me is A, I'm skinny, A, I'm tall. I'm not that tall, but I'm a decent height. I'm skinny and I'm tall, so there's a lot more things that I could get away with. um and my personality brings out a lot of things that it won't bring out on other people. So I believe that I'm a daredevil. So when it comes to a lot of things, like I will see, like a lot of people go on Instagram and they'll go on Moneybags page, they're gonna go on Little Babe's page, they're gonna go on the baby's page to try to find inspirations on shit like that. I don't do kind of stuff like that. I look at like, all right, what am I gonna put on today that's gonna, as soon as I walk in, it's gonna scream Mikey Mention. Like I don't want to scream the baby. I don't want to scream Moneybag. I don't want to scream anybody else that's not me, because that's not who I am. I am gonna always be original to who I am. And sometimes I'll even go the extra length to like go like to look at like runway stuff that people are doing and be like, okay, well they're doing this on the runway. How can I take something that's on the runway? Because I don't wear most runway stuff, to be honest with you, because runway stuff is a little bit too out there for me. I believe that they make too much men look too feminine. But I'll take some of the stuff that I see on the runway and say, okay, well, how can I take this to give it a masculine twist to it? So I'll
Switch it
do
up. Yeah.
shit like that people don't want to do. Like everybody wants to, and everybody's comfortable with looking the exact same. I'm just not with that.
So wait, let me ask you: is a lot of your stuff like custom tailored, or are you just pretty much buying it from
If
like
it's
exclusive places?
no, so if it's designer, obviously it's obviously from the designer brands. But if it's like some suit, like some stuff I'll find like on the internet and I'll wear it. But then there's other shit that I'll pop like that is like suits. Most of my suits are custom made. Um,
Okay, okay, yeah,
they
because they
they're
gotta
they're
fit.
designs that I literally sit down in my brain and I'd be like, I'll take like three different designs that I see and throw it into one. I'll bring it to my tailor and I'd be like, yo, do this, and they're like, Michael, this is gonna be so complicated. I'm like, I know it's hard, but please. And they always bring my vision to life. You know what I mean? So I always do that. I don't take one look and two looks. I take like sometimes three or four looks and throw it into one and be like, all right, like let me make this into who I am.
So let me ask you a question, right? Because we talk business on this show as well, right? So have you had any of your like viewers or people that are staying on your network ask you, where'd you get this? Can I buy this? Can you sell this to me? Like, have you thought about getting into that angle of fashion?
I have, but you know what? It's crazy. I'll tell you this honest God truth. A lot of people will come to me about shit and be like, yo, I want to wear this. I see you wearing this, or yo, style me. Like, give me an idea on something. And I'll do that. And you know what happens? I give them the idea and they're like, oh, I can't do this. It's too much for me. And then as soon as they see me wear it, they're like, yo, I should have listened to you. You did it good. You did good. Like, they want my advice. They want my opinion. But when I give them my opinion, they don't. It's like they lack the confidence to bring it off until they see. Like I remember one time, only one I seen Kanye West with a mask on, the whole diamond mask on, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna kill this man. And somebody asked me, I'm like, yo, try that. And they're like, no, it's too much, it's too much. And I walked into the dance like I was a star of the party today because I did something that nobody else in a party would
But
do.
I think like you said, it's because you have the confidence to to try it. You know what I mean?
I mean, 100%, because all they could do is bash you after. It's either they're gonna love you or they're gonna bash you, and after that, like everybody knows it's all about 9 day talk. Like after 9 days, they're gonna move on to a new topic, so it doesn't really matter much.
That's true. They're only going to be vexed for a couple of days, and then they're on to the next.
And
I
You
there's
have
might
so
so
as
I
much
have
well
more things.
smile and
There's so
profile while you can.
Yeah,
so
there's
I
so
have
much
a
more things in life
question.
to be more upset about. What's up? What's
I have
up?
a
Keep
question.
asking.
Since as if you're always on vacation, what does like I know a lot of people always want to wonder like what can we find in Mr. Mention's suitcase? What is a couple of things that you can't travel without besides your passport and stuff like that? What is something that you know that you can't go on vacation without?
All right. So anybody who knows me well. My glasses. I'm blind as a bat. So I mean, I don't leave that for nothing. I don't leave that for nothing. My gray track pants, I never leave that for nothing. And I bring probably every single Versace boxers that I have in my whole and I think I own every color that there is. Um, and I always make sure I have a white dress shirt and a black dress shirt because as a man, you can never go wrong with having a white dress shirt and a black dress shirt because it goes with everything.
Yo, that's a fact. That's a
That's a
fact. Any
fact.
It's a
vacation I
fact.
go, any vacation I go,
Mm-hmm.
you make sure. Yo, even if me not even bring a dress pants, me say
Yeah.
black
Because you can
shirt,
put that on with
white
jeans. You can put that on with
Yep.
jeans. You can put it on
shorts,
with a trap. You
anything.
can do it no matter what.
Yep.
Yeah.
Females, you
That's
bring a
a fact.
white dress and a black dress, a freakum dress. You always
You
have to make
can't
sure
go.
you
You
have one.
can't go wrong. Can't
So
go wrong
so
with that.
Mikey, let's ask you this. All right. So we heard. I think you went in depth with pretty much who you are, um, how you evolved and came to this place where you're at now, and you touched on some of the stunting and fronting pieces. I want to ask you, are there any words? So without any background stuff, are there any words of wisdom that you would provide to somebody that wants to get on the gram, wants to get on social media, is thinking about it. They may want to stunt. They may want they're probably looking for attention, looking for clout. They want to do a Mikey mention. What's some advice? What's some words of wisdom that you would give them on that journey?
So I'm gonna give the same opinion and the same advice that I give to people that I actually know that try to come at me like that is when you are authentically who you are, it shows. I mean, people who are out there who know me, whether they know me in real life or not, they know that who I am is really who I am. Some people think that you have to put on name brand clothes and you have to do all of this to be who you are. I don't think people know that your personality sells who you are faster than anything else. You could walk into a room and all the designer clothes that you think is going to make you popular and you think that's going to get you all the attention in the world, and people still won't look at you. You could walk into the room wearing H&M and Zara, and you have that personality that just gravitates to everybody, and that's going to be what's going to make everybody like you. So it's not about what you wear, it's about who you are. And a lot of people need to dig deep within themselves to know who they actually are. And once you know who you are on the inside, always shows on the outside. And that's what's going to make people love you for you, because people really, even when people act like they like your online content, people are going to genuinely love you for who you are and not who you portray to be or who you know what I mean? So just be you, no matter what it is. Like, even if you like to laugh, if you like to smile, if you like to go bowling, if you like to go to the movie theaters, like if you like to go to eat to dinner by yourself, no matter what it is, just be you. Like, once you're you, like, it's either they're gonna love you or they're not. And if they don't love you, then that means just move on. You'll find other people who will love you and genuinely will love you for who you are.
All right, drops the
That's a
mic.
fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
We got hearts blowing up the Instagram right now for Mikey
Mikey, but
Mention
all the girls always want
and
to
those words
know
of
before you
wisdom.
guys hold on, before you guys get sorry, I know we're gonna go on to the next guest, but every female always wants to know Mikey.
Mm.
Mr. Mention, I know this is always asked. Are you like are we in a relationship? Are we not? This is for the women. I know a lot of women are in here today to find that
Listen,
out. So is that any way,
listen.
shape, or form you could let that be known,
I,
or we're gonna still keep that
I,
on the hush?
You're
I'm not.
putting the man on the
I'm.
spot.
No,
Jeez.
no, you're not
I'm
putting me on the
sorry.
spot. You're not putting me
I
on the
know
spot.
Jada
No, no,
Man,
no,
please
no, no,
don't kill me. I
no,
had
no,
to ask.
no,
I'm
no, no.
sorry.
You're not putting me on the spot. You're not putting me on the spot. No, I'm not in a relationship. Um, I am one of the most difficult people when it comes to relationships, and I think the reason why I am that way is because I have a certain type that I like and a certain type that I attract. And now the type that I attract and the type that I like, they don't seem to be like who I am in real life. Because if you see me in a party, I'm sure a lot of people have seen me in a party. I'm with the shits. I'm all about the antics. But then when you take me out of that party scene, like I'll be like watching a movie at the movie theater and see shit come up on the screen, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go home and Google this movie or Google what they just said. And it's like most of the females who will like me, or most of the females who will be into me, like they're into the dance hall hype and they're into the party hype, which is I'm into it too. But once you take me out of that, like I'm a totally different person, and
Totally
I find
different
that
person.
most of the females who like me, like that's all they are about. You know what I mean? Like they're like I can't have an intelligent conversation with them about like, yo, let's talk about why the fact the sky is blue and turns black at night. Like, let's find out why that is. And they don't like that
Nah,
doesn't
man.
interest them. Like, what
They're
interests them
they're
is
like they're like,
That's
yo,
big.
You
I'm putting on a dress that matches what Mikey's wearing, and where are we going that weekend? Yeah.
yeah, you know
so
what I
would
mean.
you
And
so would you
I have
say sorry, so would you
go on.
say you if you were to be in a relationship, your relationship wouldn't be like a social media relationship. It would be more of a private relationship, right?
Listen, I've done the social media relationships, and all they've ever done is blossomed and exploded into controversy that didn't even need to be controversy, and the controversy has never existed within our relationship. The controversy has always existed with the onliners, I'll call them, the ones who want to know more than they think that they are entitled to know, the ones who want to know where we sleep, how we sleep, what we do when we sleep. And it's always been that. So going forward, I would honestly say that going into another relationship, if it was a popular relationship, it would take more time for me to put it out there than anything else, because I don't need my life has been so peaceful lately, and I don't need the headaches of anything further.
Ladies, I hope you guys were listening. I try to help ladies, so there you guys go. Thank you,
Yes.
Mikey.
All right.
All right, much love, Mikey.
Thanks guys for having me.
All right.
Yeah, no worries.
Bye.
Mikey,
Enjoy
Uh,
your
Mikey,
trip
uh,
for all of us, please.
hold on.
Wagwan, we goes Wagwan.
Because you just told all the ladies that you're single, right? So you can't just jump off the live just so, because the people them want to know where they could find you and what does Mikey Mention have coming up next. Is there?
True.
I know Florida's open up, so there must be some parties going on.
Put him on the screen.
Yeah,
Put
I'm
him
not.
on the screen.
Are you going to Milk and
Um,
Honey?
yes, I'm going to Milk and Honey for sure. You can
So
find me
where
on
can they
Instagram
find
at
you?
Mikey Mention. Mike Instagram at Mikey Mention. That's the only platform that I really allow that's open. Or you can find me on Snapchat at Mikey Mention as well. Anything that I have, my name is Mikey Mention. That's it. I don't really have other names that I put out there for anybody else. It's always one straight name, and that's it.
Straight.
As for where you can find me and what's going on in my life, like that's really not like I don't really share those stuff. I share it as the moments
That's
are
none of
going
our
on.
business.
It's yeah, it's never something that I share in advance. It's something that I share when the moment is happening.
Makes sense because why don't know why? Because Mikey Mention don't front and stunt on social media, right? So
I don't have
Lives in
time.
who
real
needs
life.
I
to?
don't have no, I don't have time for that. If I don't have it, I don't have it. If I have it, I have it, and that's just life.
Exactly. And
Ah,
if you see it, it's because Mikey decided that you're meant to see it, right?
Yeah, in fact, because there's a lot of things like sometimes I'll be eating and I'll be like, oh, the food looks good. I should take a picture of it. And I'm like, I'm not taking no picture of this food. I'm gonna eat my food and go about my business. So you know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things.
I
Like
know.
it's
I
just nothing.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
Mikey, again, we just want to thank you for taking the time out of the hot sun in Miami to join us on the Viewpoint show. You gave us a lot of insight, you gave us a lot of information, and you gave us your views on stunting and fronting and what it means. So, again, thank you for joining us. and we hope to have you back on a future episode.
All right, thank you all.
For sure. All right.
Thank
Love,
Bless
you,
up.
Have a good night.
Mikey.
All right,
Enjoy for
likewise.
all of us. Bye.
People, like he said, from your name I mention. You
Yo,
have to
why you
talk about
cringe when I
Mikey
ask your cousin
Mention.
that? Why you cringe
huh?
a little bit when I ask your cousin that?
Ask him
You
what? No, I
cringe.
didn't cringe.
You gave that look like, oh yeah, I asked him that. No, because the
No,
ladies want
because
to know.
yeah, yeah,
They know
no, that's
that both of y'all is taken. They know you guys are taken. They wanted to know if Mr. Mention was taken. So I had to ask that question on behalf of the ladies.
no, that's a good question. Good question. But I was just trying to figure out where you were going next.
No, because I wanted to ask a question about relationships on social media because that plays a major part with it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people front on social media like they're in the best relationship, but
All
behind
right,
closed
so
doors, it's not like that.
Brooklyn, so let's talk about that for a second. So because we talk about the cars, we talk about the jewelry, we talk about the houses and all these type of things, but we don't talk about the relationship. So what about those people that are on social media acting like, oh, this that, but
They're
then
living.
behind doors they're crying, their woman's beating them up, their kids the kids are throwing rocks at them. Like, why do people do that? Like, why not just tell the people you're stressed out?
No, because at the end of the day, like Mikey mentioned, said you have people like Sweetie and Quavo, for instance, or Beyonce and Jay Z, for instance. You guys would think that they're living the lavish lifestyle, the best, the best of the best, eating caviar, doing whatever they want, and they're they're portraying to be that happily ever after couples goals, relationship goals, hashtag relationship goals.
Mhm.
So when you see that on social media, you want to be like that. Like he said, I want to. A lot of these girls are out here trying to, get Birkin bags and all these type of stuff instead of trying to own that shit by themselves. You understand what I mean? So I don't know.
So
I don't like putting my personal relationships on social media because
yeah,
that's too much. Like
yeah. I
everybody, like he said, when you guys don't involve social media, there's no issues. But
mm,
then it's like as soon as you involve social media is like an extra family member or extra friend that always
Third
has
wheel.
something to say, even though they know what the hell is going on.
mhm.
That's what social media is.
Yeah.
That family member that doesn't know you in real life, but always has something to
You, you
say, and their life is no better than
you know what's
yours.
so crazy that you say that? That it's like an extra family member, or even maybe a family member that's important in the family, because once you put it out there in social media, even if you want to break up, you can't really break up if it's looking away. People are hanging on a little longer to try to, hold on to this thing that they presented out into the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
So it's just like a
That's the
grandma.
fact.
You can't go to the grandma or the grandpa or the mom who likes that man or likes that woman and tell them you're breaking up. Maybe
You
you're
can.
at an age
bro,
now and they're like, yeah, so
just like
leave.
you said,
Yeah, go ahead.
bro. I had a brethren who he's
Drop in.
I had a brethren. He's the Facebook guy, right? So
Hmm.
everything him do, him put on Facebook. New relationship with, and he's the guy that all tags the girl. New relationship
Yeah.
with this person, right? So you know what happens with
That's
this
a
guy,
no
right?
no.
What happens with this guy is every single time him update something, yo, what happened to this girl?
Yeah.
And then now people have a timeline. B, weren't you with the? Didn't you just get this girl 3 months ago? How come you have
Yeah.
a new girl already? What happened to this person? So
Yeah.
you're putting your own self on blast.
I've been there as far as having like a relationship on social
Yeah, we
media for
know.
like for years.
We
It
know.
was I'm not gonna say it was, like it was bad or whatever, but like just having to draw back from it, like that's what I'm talking about. Like I wouldn't really do that again. I wouldn't really,
With
unless
it,
it's that life partner that, when I'm saying life partner, I'm saying you're fully committed, like marriage and all that, and I believe in that, right? Some people don't, but whatever that life partnership looks like for you, like at that point, you can't do a little one tree, but outside of that, nah, like the energy and
All right,
it's just crazy.
let me jump in on the relationship tip again. So I'm gonna ask both of you, right? So
Mhm.
because the fronting could go both ways, right? So what about that couple? What about that couple who the one person is always posting the couple pictures. Meanwhile, the other person, if you look at their Instagram, you would swear they're single. So that person is fronting. The girl's
Usually
like,
that's the
"Hey,
man.
you're fronting like
Okay.
you're single. What's going on?" So
Usually that's the man.
and
Okay.
but is he pressured to post the family picture? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how does that drop in? What if he's just I don't
It all depends on the status that we're at. If I know that me and you are just friends and we're kicking it, and we're friends with whatever, like we're just chilling, whatever the case may be, I know for sure I'm not gonna post you on my social media. But if I know I've been in a relationship with you for some time, you know my family, I know your family, then yes, I will. I may not put you on my actual timeline, but I'll put you in my story. If I see that you're not reciprocating on your end, I won't put you on my actual page. I will put you in the 24-hour slot for anybody who wants to see my story for the 24 hours, and that's it. Because if I see that you're not reciprocating and doing the same for me, then it is what it is. Sometimes guys are not like that. Some guys are not flashy like that and are about that. You know what I mean? Some people like to keep that to themselves. But as women, once we like you in that light, we want to show you off to everybody. So the
Yeah.
man
And
may not feel the same way.
yeah,
Not
so
all
I
guys are like that.
exactly. So I feel like the nature, more the nature or nurture of a lot of men, it's not really to be on the what we call, the gal clown thing and posting up your girl every minute, and it's not the cool thing necessarily to do, right? You could have a 1 2, but like the every minute it's like, bro, what's
yeah.
going on with you? So
It's
it
just
doesn't
yeah, it's
necessarily,
just not something we do.
yeah, it's not
Unless
something we
unless
do.
No,
Yeah, go ahead.
unless you're like our next guest that's about to come on, because he be posting his wifey all the time, okay, and letting social media know this is the wife. She ain't going nowhere, and they go on vacation. So I'm just letting you know, people like you may not do it,
Mm.
Jada Man, but there
No,
is
you
a couple
could do
people
it.
that do
No,
it.
I'm saying there's some people. Sometimes, if you see a man not really doing it, it doesn't mean that he doesn't love her. He's not infatuated with the woman. You get what I'm saying? But it's just by nurture. We're not really. It's not something you really do. But there's times when you can do it, of course. And we're bigging up mans who are doing it same way still and
Well,
showing off
if you're gonna
who they're with.
listen, if you're not gonna post me, you shouldn't be posting other girls as well. That's my thing.
Who does
If
that?
I'm not deserving of being on your timeline or on your in your stories, then you
Hmm.
shouldn't be screenshotting other females and posting them on your stories
Wait,
and
hold on.
on your
Wait, you
page.
mean females that they know, or they like celebrities? You mean?
No, okay, there's like for instance, well, the celebrities are different. Like everyone kind of does that, but I'm talking about like there's guys that have like female friends that they'll
Oh,
post
okay.
for certain reasons,
Oh, okay.
whatever
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah,
doing,
yeah, yeah.
and
Oh,
then they have
Like,
their own
like I should,
girl.
like, yeah, I know what you mean. Like, I
You
shouldn't be
understand what I
posting
mean? To
like,
me, it's like, yo, if you're not gonna post me, I don't want to see you posting none of your homegirls or any. No, 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 no.
e-
Because I want to know.
I'm there, like Brooklyn. Like, I'll
I
be
want
there
to know why
taking a
I'm
picture
not
with the
deserving.
bartender. I'm
Yeah,
there
why am I not
with
deserving?
my next promoter chick taking a picture.
You
I
get
mean,
what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes your girls are badder than the girls that you're actually posting. So at the end of the day, why are you doing that? If you're gonna show
Oh,
love to them, do the same for me.
ambitious said she likes a man to show his woman. That gives her security. She
Yeah,
likes a man to show. She wants
okay,
the man
sis.
to post her up.
Of
what's
course.
up?
Let the world
I
know.
mean, she says not all the time, but people say.
I hear you. I hear you.
No, no,
So
and you know what? You know what? I hear that too. And you know what I'm gonna say? Like, even myself, like, even just out of respect,
drop in, drop in.
even just out of respect, what I do is, yeah, I'll show up my girl there, 1 2 on the gram, just so people know, yeah,
Mhm.
man, thing I go on, and just so she
Yeah.
knows, I'm not afraid to show the people what I go on. Yeah,
Mhm.
man, you have to do them one day.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
once you guys start deleting those couple pictures, everyone knows Wagwan. They're gonna skim
Yeah.
through and realize those couple
Yeah,
pictures
yeah,
are
but
gone.
look, for Brooklyn, just for that exact same reason as well, right? That's why I don't like to do that stuff because there's people that will scroll your timeline and be like, look, she went from that boyfriend, she have that boyfriend, and look,
Yeah.
look, just 2 weeks later, she have a new boyfriend. Hmm.
That's
Yeah. So yeah, as I said, you guys are talking from different experiences. I came from an experience where it was on like on social media. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I
So
seen it and I was following. That's why I said I know. Right? I used to
yeah, it
remember
was
I
it
follow you
was
on
it
social
was
media.
on, right? So yeah, you live just like Mikey's just talking about transitioning, right? Like so you just realize you go through it on that level where everybody knows and it's this thing and everywhere you go and to where it's just like, yeah, maybe you're in a different space. It's like I'm just not really on that anymore. You know what I mean? And it's no real disrespect, but
No,
Yeah,
but
you know,
you had a
I
yeah.
think that would
couple
be
gold pictures where people were where I could say people were actually be like, yo, couple like you understand what I mean? Like
Hmm? Say that
boss. It
again?
was boss like no, I said you guys had a couple of pictures where it was like gold pictures, like relationship gold
Oh,
pictures, because it was like you guys were, it was boss movements and the
yeah, yeah.
support and everything behind it that came with it. It was like people look toward, that's what I'm saying. People look towards it,
Hmm.
but behind closed doors, whatever you guys were going through, people don't really know that. They only see that picture that's on Instagram. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
all right. Now, quick. Let me just ask one more quick question, right?
Hmm.
Before we switch it up, right? Now, what about the motivational aspect of it? What about the people that are using that fronting and stunting that they're seeing to put that extra drive into themselves to say, you know what, I gotta get that. I gotta work harder. I want to be there. So it in some ways can't fronting and stunting help or be advantageous to some people?
Yeah, so drop me in the yeah, so so I feel like it could be motivational, right? It could be motivational, but it's on the other end of the stick where it creates this false reality. So if people are seeing a lot of people doing it, it feels like so if it's a one off or two people doing it, then you don't really have to try to replicate it. You just aspire to try to get there. But if everybody, people that live down the street from you is on it and you're seeing them Gucci out and Balenciaga this and so you're like, hold on a second here. Like it's local, it's home, it hits home. So if people around the corner are doing it, now it turns into this thing where I feel I have to do it, right? So it's a thin line between motivation and destruction or destructive kind of behavior, right? Because what do you have to go and do to look like that or to
Yeah,
hold that up?
yeah.
You
So
know what
you're
I'm
saying
saying?
some people take it to the extreme and say, you know what, I need that bag, so I'm gonna go do whatever it takes to get that bag. And yeah, that's where it could be destructive. So I definitely agree with you there.
Yeah.
Reading Tiffany Haddish's book, The Black Unicorn, showed me a lot. She basically said she walked into a room where she had like a say $100 dress on, and everybody else was in Dolce and Gabbana and Fendi and Gucci and stuff like that. And she said she stood out, like what Mikey mentioned. Said it's your
Mm,
personality, right? Her personality allowed her to stand out because of who she was. No one cared that her dress was $100. She knew her dress was $100, but nobody else knew it was. So she basically said, don't. She never had the money like that, but she wasn't gonna front and go buy something out of her budget to please people that she doesn't even know. That makes no sense.
yeah. So let me give you my final thoughts on it in the real talk, Wigs. Let's do it. Yeah, yeah, this is the real talk segment with Jada Man. So what we're looking at is fronting and stunting on social media. My thoughts on it is this. All right. There's a reason and a purpose to everything. And there's a positive and negative to everything. The positive side, yes, it can motivate others. It could get the spirit of competition, that energy going and circulated. It can push you to do things in a positive way that you never knew you can stretch physically and mentally and obtain. On the other side of things, what it does though, it creates a false sense of reality. And that false sense of reality not only seeps into that person's world that's trying to do things that are outside of their realm to look like somebody that they're aspiring to be on social media, but it could also trickle down and impact their family, for the things they're giving up, the things they're sacrificing, the things that they're doing, the unethical things that potentially they're doing to obtain a certain stature, on social media. And ultimately, what needs to happen is there needs to be a bridge where if somebody is in an aspirational moment, whether it's music, whether it's movies, whether it's they're showing who how they look, they need to on the other side balance it out and show what the reality looks like in the real world. And mind you, we know we're in a world right now where that's not really happening. So we there's a call out to the parents, there's a call out to the elders, there's a call out to the mothers, the uncles, everybody to do their part, to step up and try to balance the imbalance, because fronting on social media is not authentic. Real recognize real. Eventually you'll be found out. Eventually you do something that's not you long enough, you'll crash and burn, right? Like it'll start to holes will start to be poked into it. You know what I mean? So on the long term, it's not really worth it. But yes, there's some people that do it. They say fake it to make it. There's some people that do it and it works for them. But for the majority, you'll be found out. It's not you. It's not gonna feel authentic. You're gonna lose time and years that you can never regain. And time is the most valuable asset, right? So since we're talking about assets and what people are showing off as far as what they have and what they may not have, time is the most valuable asset. So with your time, we want you to walk good, meaning be real, be authentic, attract what you need in your life by putting the work in. You know what I mean? And ultimately, peace of mind will be the result of it. And that's real talk with Jada Man.
That's some real
I
smoke,
tell
Kayla.
I tell everybody all the time, okay? For the small, like fronting on social media and all that type of stuff, to the ladies, listen, itty bitty titty committee. We are part, I am part of that. It's okay to be part of the itty
Drop
bitty
our.
titty committee. Do you understand me? Wait, yeah, right here, the itty bitty titty committee. It's okay to be part of that because Victoria's Secret, don't tell nobody. She ain't gonna tell nobody that you an A cup baby. It gonna make you look like you a B or a C. Do you understand me? And little booties matter. It's okay. We don't need to have a big booty out here. We're still sexy. Just remember that. As long as you feel sexy, that's all that matters.
Little booties matter.
They
It's
all
the
matter.
viewpoints, people.
Yeah.
Remember to like, subscribe, and follow at Viewpoints on all networks. Shout out to Kayla Bodden. Shout out to Mikey Mention. Shout out to 100 Watts. We're going to have him on next week. Look out for the promo.
Or next time, we're gonna get the
We're going to
right
have him
show for him. We're
upcoming.
gonna get the right, and then this one was right for him, but we're gonna get another show. We're
100,
gonna bring him
listen,
on.
100 watts already knew the type of questions I was coming with. Watch me on him, Mr. 100
Yo,
watts.
people, it's the Viewpoints.
Yeah?
We
Don't
here.
know.
And remember, little booties matter.
Itty bitty
Holla.
titty committee,
We'll be back next
baby.
week. See the link, share the link. If you're tuning in, turn it up. It's the Viewpoint.